Greetings, everyone, and welcome. June the 22nd, 2026. And today we have massive political fallout in regard to Poland, Great Britain with Keir Starmer. There is a story happening that many aren't talking about. And in addition to that, Belarus, the Kremlin making an official statement. But on top of all of that, Ukraine is absolutely smashing Russian targets. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Now, some of this is going to be as a follow-up on some of the stories we covered yesterday. President Noraki of Poland has fired back this morning, making a direct statement to President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. In fact, his statement says, "Volodymyr, Dear President, the dispute does not concern Poland's internal affairs at all. They don't exist because all Poles know and understand how much harm Ukrainian nationalists have caused to Poles and Polish children. The dispute concerns the perception of historical issues and the fact that in Poland, we do not accept Bandera's red and black flag." That statement coming out just a couple of hours ago in direct response to Zelensky's video statement. I played that for you yesterday. If you missed it, please go back. I gave history on this dispute. And this is exactly what the Kremlin wants, and cooler heads have to prevail. Donald Tusk made that very clear, and I am confident that Poland and Ukraine are going to find a way to work through this, but it's going to take flexibility on both sides, and we will see what unfolds. But this story is not going away right now, and if anything, it's getting bigger, and it is and can be a stumbling block between the relations of Ukraine and Poland, and of course, the Kremlin will exploit it. Now, on top of that, big news today is Keir Starmer resigning. But that's not the real big story. The biggest story, and you may have missed it, is what Kirill Dmitriev stated in Moscow about this resignation. And I quote, this is what Dmitriev said, quote, "We did it together." Quote 2, he claimed that Starmer's militarism has been exposed, and that's why he is resigning. Third, he then attacked Starmer's policies on immigration, crime, energy, and the economy. He called him a failure. But this was where it got very interesting. He warned that Merz will be next if policies do not change. So the attack that we see from Dmitriev, of course, representing Putin, the Kremlin, the two middle quotes, Starmer's militarism exposed, that's why he's out. All the support of Ukraine. In fact, a lot of support of Ukraine. We'll talk about those Storm Shadow missiles in just a minute on Voronezh. He attacked his policies, but I'm paying attention to statement 1 and 4, the deeper story. He warns and threatens, Merz, you're going to be next. We're going to take you out. But ladies and gentlemen, statement number 1, in my opinion, we did it together. Think about that for one moment. In fact, this would be a great place to leave a comment. Maybe I'm in left field. Maybe I have not had enough coffee this morning. We did it together. Who? If you do something together, that requires more than one. I remind you that over the last 4 to 6 weeks, there have been multiple attacks on Keir Starmer coming from the Truth Social account of Donald J. Trump, calling his policies failed, calling him a disaster in office. And over the weekend, Trump even congratulated him and broke the news. Thank you for working. On Monday, we know you're resigning. You're out. Dmitriev comes in today and goes, we did it together. Now, I'm not going to say and any way to prove that Trump, that administration, partnering with the Kremlin, was able to do it together with removing Starmer. But the Kremlin will use this also to their advantage. So now we have Poland, the resignation of Starmer, these power plays happening without even a shot being fired. It takes us to Belarus. I covered that over the last couple of days. We will continue. We're down to 5 days now. If they're not removed, those signal repeaters, Ukraine will absolutely take them out. Peskov, making the first official statement on Belarus, stated Belarus fully capable to take care of itself. Belarus is a sovereign state, and any threat against Belarus is absolutely unacceptable. Here is Dmitry Peskov. You know, Alexander Lukashenko talked about this. So in the near future, he is planning to get into contact with us so that we can have a chance to discuss this issue and others. But, of course, this threat is absolutely, I repeat, absolutely aggressive, an aggressive interference in the internal affairs of another country and an encroachment on the sovereignty of another nation. But we have no doubt that the leadership of Belarus and Belarus itself is capable of ensuring its sovereignty. So there you have it. Belarus, this is unacceptable. They can take care of themselves. We're going to be getting together to discuss what to do next. Once again, 3 major stories that are on the borders or in the region: Poland, Belarus, Great Britain. Now, let's take it a little bit closer. Let's flip the narrative and go down to Crimea, and I can officially report to you that TASS, Russian state media, in their news this morning officially reported that there were 995 cars in queue to get across the Kerch Bridge. 1 hour waiting on the Taman side to come in, 3 hours on the Kerch side. Manual inspections of each vehicle require at least an hour. This is what's happening. This is not propaganda. This is not hopium. This is not some Ukrainian talking head going, "Oh, 1,000 cars waiting to get across the bridge to get out." No, this is TASS officially reporting. The bridge is nothing but a traffic jam. That is what you like to see when they're reporting it in themselves. Now, 2 big stories militarily for Ukraine this morning. The Vasilivka bridge, goodbye. I'll say it in Russian for them. До свидания. Bye. It has been taken out, and it is a key bridge just below the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Let me show you a video clip on this, and then I will go in and prove to you the location. Here we go. This is Ukraine's work on that bridge. No audio. Just enjoy the video. Just pay attention there, the bridge, but I want you to notice the right side. Oh, the strike's coming, but notice the circle and how the road triangles out. Well, до свидания. Udachi. Udachi translates good luck. Udachi. Now, say, Greg, well, that could be anywhere. Well, it could be anywhere, except I can prove to you where it's at. If we come down into Ukraine, the Vasilivka Bridge, and for reference points, here is Kryvyi Rih, Dnipro. Zaporizhia is right here. It's very close to Zaporizhia, guys. In fact, we'll do this. Zaporizhia is right here. The bridge is here. Let me do this for you. Zaporizhia. Here's Energodar, or Zaporizhia Nuclear Power Plant. And this highway comes down and then across, and that bridge is destroyed right there. I remind you that I told you to remember the way the bridge looked with the little triangle on the outside of the bridge. And we take you in, and of course, I'm showing you the exact location. You were looking from this direction, The strike was there, and there is the triangle I was showing you with the circle. Ladies and gentlemen, that bridge is no more. So that is good news. Now, even better news. You say, well, why is that good news? Because it stops the transport of logistics for Russia, specifically south coming north to support the Russian troops there and their assault on Zaporizhia region further. Okay, now let's go to the next one, and that is Voronezh, key strike. I told you to remember the storm shadows. Storm shadows, big help from Europe. At least 10 Ukrainian strikes. Storm Shadow and Flamingo used. The target was the semiconductor producer for the X-101, Iskander missiles, radars, air defense systems. You may say, Greg, can you show me where this is on the map? Absolutely, and I can do even better than that. I'm going to show you the plant destroyed. Here it is, guys. This is in Voronezh. That plant is history. There are even reports in Russian media that many employees were trapped or eliminated. I'm just sharing, reporting. You know, it's terrible with any loss of life, but this was a devastating strike, and the fallout is just beginning from it. In fact, we can just replay that one more time here. It's massive, massive facility. And I guess, again, we can say, do svidaniya. Now, where is Voronezh? I'll show you right here. Here's Kyiv. Here's basically the border of Ukraine. And this was hit here in Russia. And I'll just take you in there to the city of Voronezh, and you can see this is Voronezh, large city, very militaristic. You can see the runway at the bottom. That is a military runway. River going through the middle, which is the Voronezh River. And this is the place where the strike took place. So, ladies and gentlemen, a lot unfolding today, politically, militarily, Crimea. But there will be fallouts from every story I told you in this update. All the political ones with Poland, Belarus, UK, Dmitriev statements, Peskov on Belarus, and then these attacks specifically on Voronezh and also the Vasilivka Bridge and the traffic on the Kerch. It's a big day. And this week will continue to be big because there will be response, and we have to just stay updated and see what unfolds. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You guys be blessed.